well, in high school, my art teacher made me hate art because it was just the same thing over again. And whenever I would try to do art, like try to draw, she'd be like, "You're drawing incorrectly." And I'd be like, "How am I drawing incorrectly? There's no right way to make art."
Yeah, beat me up, Scotty. Mr. Tommy Wong looking for a new hottie. Wanna ride shot it while she gone off the molly. And best believe she just trying to kick it like a holly. Tommy Wong, I'm Kennedy, killing them every minute. They say when they talk, you finish it. I don't care what they heard, cause you know their soul is diminishing. When I come around, I start spitting and straight replenishing. Anything I'm doing, you know they feeling the differences. What I be doing, killing this microphone every instance. T.O. man, they run in trouble. I told you before, AL, I'll bring the bass, I'ma bring the trouble.
Alright, podcasting stuff, we just started.
Okay, cool.
Boom.
Yeah.
Who am I here with today?
My name is Magnus Valtias.
That's crazy. Like, I feel like of all the people I know the answer, so it's kind of boring already, but I was like, what kind of name is that?
Hopefully it's a name that makes me great or something. I don't know.
Do you believe the name makes you great?
Kind of. I mean, a name can make or break somebody, I think. Like if you have a son and you just name him Shithead, he's probably gonna be a shithead.
But like words have power, so like,
yeah.
But we also define words. So if you name him Shithead and he grows to think Shithead is amazing, then Shithead is amazing to him.
True, I guess. Yeah, it all depends. But there's also what the word means to everybody else in the world. And there's that. I mean, if he can stay named Shithead and be proud of his name even amongst his peers or whatever, then, I mean, he deserves it. But it's difficult to, because so many people would make fun of him.
Maybe, but I mean, again, he would be like, man, these people are weird. They keep thinking that this isn't great when it's great, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose.
All right. You got me drinking this warm ass fucking water. God damn, dude. What the fuck?
That's how we do it here.
It's not helping me stay awake. Who is Magnus Valtias? If I said that right, I don't even know if I said that right.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Damn, question one stumped. Again, podcast over.
Yeah, let me, what do you mean in that? Well,
you said you changed your name. Names make people great.
Yeah. I mean, I know who I am in a certain sense.
Oh, yeah, who are you?
I'm...
How does one define oneself? Not philosophically, I mean you.
Well, I mean, there are multiple, there's like, who are you in a sense, like, what do you do?
You gotta answer it how you need to answer it.
I am just a person that wants to be the best version of myself. And I know that I'm not going to be doing it immediately. I'm not going to be like 100%, like whenever I wake up. And I'm a little bit lazy. So it's a sort of slow going process. But I feel like I'm a lot better than I used to be. So that's, somebody told me baby steps to just remember, like, you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to do that. And that was just like, I don't know why. It was at Swan Dive, of all places. And it was just some random person there. And I forget why we were talking about it, but she was just like, you know, you just got to take life with baby steps. You just got to, like, bit by bit, just keep on going. And
she threw up in front of you.
No, surprisingly. But she, that like resonated with me because I was, I'm always a little bit hard on myself sometimes, even though I know that I'm lazy to a point, and yeah, so it's like I'm making progress. Making progress. So I'm as long as I'm making progress, even if it's just like a little bit here, a little bit there.
What are you making progress to?
I guess everything. Like living life, being a good person, being financially independent, being in shape, figuring out how to best make my body in shape, healthy. Yeah, it's like a whole thing. Of course, I've had to take a break from being creative for a little while with art and music, but I feel like I'm being more creative in other ways sometimes. Not as much, but like at work, with Swan Dive, whatever a problem arises, I just try and figure out how to fix it. Yeah, so...
Do you think they both can exist simultaneously?
Creative and the financially independent.
Oh, no, all of it though. I mean, that along with you working out and all that and eating right and making art.
I think so. Yeah, I just have to get used to the new shift of things, you know, and get used to having the energy to work out and work as much as possible, try and get money. And I think like once all that stuff is like second nature to me because I've been doing it, then I could be like, okay, you know, I have extra time today. Might as well bust out my sketchbook and finish a piece that I haven't worked on in 2 or 3 months. But yeah, I mean, I don't know when that's going to be. But hopefully it'll be soon, I guess. I mean, I haven't worked on in over a year.
It's over, man. The dream's dead.
No, I don't think it's dead. I think it's just in a coma, just relaxing. It's like Cthulhu sleeping at the bottom of the ocean, waiting until I could wake up and wreak havoc.
I think the music thing is gonna be like a one-time thing for you.
Wait, what do you mean? Like,
I think you're gonna like do whatever that project is, and maybe there's another one, but that might be it. It's not like, I guess, all
like
the others who keep like working on it daily.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as electronic music, I don't know if I'll make any more upbeat electronic music like I was.
When did that happen?
That was like the. I mean, it wasn't more upbeat. It was just more.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Fast paced, like drum and bass, jungle, stuff. If I do electronic music, it'll probably be ambient, depressing stuff. But yeah, I mean, I want to do that project, but also there's the other project, the metal stuff, which I'm going to be.
That's what I meant. I meant that one's going to be a one and done.
Well, no, I have like 73 songs. I mean, so I have enough material to last. It might get cut down a little bit because I'm going to send all the songs to my buddy, and he's going to go through them. And I told him like to pick parts. If there's like a song that 90% sucks, but like 10%, there's like one part that's like awesome. And he is like, yeah, just get rid of that 90%, and then we'll move this one over to this song and make it a better, more stronger song.
Yeah.
And he said like that's really what he's interested in now.
He wants to be a producer.
Yeah. And so
Arranger.
yeah, so he, I feel like he could do it. He's been in music
He's
for
busy
a
now,
long
though, man. He's in Torn Crate Land.
Oh, no, not Clifton.
Oh,
no, this is another buddy, Shredward.
Yeah. Isn't he another professional?
Yeah, he's in a touring band.
That's what I mean.
And DJing. But I mean, he I feel like he like is genuinely interested in doing that. Like he told me, he was like, that's a thing that I really want to do. He's like, yeah, just bring it over and I'll listen to him. So, and I trust his judgment. He actually mastered some of my ambient songs a while back, like a couple years ago. And yeah, he did a really good job.
When do you think you're gonna bring it over to him?
I was like, I have to put it in like a Dropbox or something, but I'm probably just gonna have to do it in pieces because the total space in the Dropbox is not big enough for the file, like the compressed.
Use I was gonna say use G drive, but use a lot of G drives. That's what I do. I got like 80 G drives. I ain't even lying. Someone hired me to record their band, but they just wanted raw footage. I didn't have to even do nothing. I used like 3 or 4 cameras, and it was a lot of shit. I think I used like 15 gigs of G drive, right? So I don't know, maybe like 5 G drives or something. Mm-hmm. It gets there eventually.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like,
True.
And it's free.
Yeah.
That same guy, without saying his name, he's been on the show. He's a good dude, man, but we had, I guess, a terrible miscommunication in that he was mad at me for deleting the G drives, but I deleted it 2 months ago. I was like, dude, you had 2 months to download it. And you never downloaded it. So I think he almost got close to nothing. And I'm like, really? Like 2 months? And then he started, I guess, talking from a business perspective, which I get. But he's like, you gotta alert the customer. I'm like, dude, man, ain't my full-time living. Like, so I'm not even in business mindset. And then 2, I'm thinking of it more like he doesn't seem, I mean, it's in a nicer way, but he doesn't seem like too like computer or internet up to date savvy. Like, I'm sure he can do all the basic shit. Everybody uses a computer and a phone, but I mean, like, he don't know the lingo and stuff. Cause I was like, dude, it's a cloud thing. Like, why would I leave it up there forever? You know, like, it's G drive, it's free. You know, I'm not. There's a reason why I sent you 5 links and not 1. You know, like, I don't have the free, like, all that. So to me, like, that's like common amongst the people I roll. But yeah, that was, I don't know. I don't even remember why I brought that up because I'm so fucking tired. But
I might I'll figure something out.
G drive works. So I was saying, make just 40 emails and you send 40 G drive links times 15. That should be enough.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I got to do it.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a project I'm kind of excited for. I don't know. It's I've told you this. It's like exciting but frightening because it's a lot of lyric writing and I'm not really that good with words.
No, you get good with words?
By writing and try. But see, I've tried, I don't know, I feel like I'm a very matter-of-fact sort of person. Just, I mean, whenever I say something, I don't like try and make it as complex and as other people. It's just like, oh yeah, table, chair.
Hey man, I don't have to be. Most of the popular shit in this world is simple.
Not true. But metal, like especially like black metal, doom metal, they all have.
I don't know what any of those songs are about. Even the ones I like, I hope they're not about horrible things, but yeah.
Same. Yeah, I.
So it don't matter. Just say some shit.
But I got in that
I
point.
need a cheeseburger. I really need a cheeseburger.
Yeah. Well, I got a point of like not listening to lyrics whenever I was in the hardcore scene, because it just seemed like it was all basically the same lyric with all those bands. And so I started listening to instrumental music, and because there wasn't any lyrics, and so I guess I never developed that skill of listening to lyrics and understanding what they're saying. So yeah, so I mean, I don't even know what they're doing.
My shit, if eating wakes me up. Only hip hop. I grew up in hip hop, and that was so I would always listen to lyrics because I was like, man, these guys don't make music. A lot of those guys, and I was like, if you can't even rap, why am I listening to you? You know. Mm-hmm. But once I got into not rap, that's when I just stopped caring about lyrics. Cause yeah, that was the first thing that would draw me away from not rap, was like the music part. Yeah. And then later on, when you find out, especially like the more you get into popular or bands, like vocal guys just do vocals a lot of the time. Depends on their role. Sometimes they don't even make up the melody; they just sing it. So yeah, lyrics just mattered only to me and like the hip hop. And to this day, I'll still hear international hip hop, but I won't. I'm not gonna be like, that guy's a good or bad rapper, because I don't know what the fuck he's saying. He could be amazing, but I don't know Korean, I don't know German or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was this one video I saw of like this French rapper, and I had no idea what he was saying, but it looked brutal as fuck. And I mean, I guess I liked it. It seemed like intense. And I was like, he obviously means what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying, but I'm gonna, I agree. I don't know.
It's probably rapping about anti-immigration in Europe.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the stuff is just to get, like, I feel like I know these things now, but I guess I should ask them because, yeah, no one else knows you know?
To get it on record.
Yeah. So, the most obvious thing about you.
My shoes. No,
the rest of the whole outfit.
Yeah, the
colors.
Red.
The colors.
Yeah. I've been wearing all red for about 4.5 years. Yeah, it'll be 5 years in February. So yeah, it's been fun. It's it's like a psychological experiment to make myself more outgoing, make myself more confident. Because like years ago, I just wore all black, and
was that the first color, or you were just literally wearing all black? Like, it wasn't conscious to wear all black.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like conscious thing. It was just like I was into metal, and band shirts are all black pretty much. So that was just it, and it was easy to sort of blend in. And I don't think I had like one white shirt that I never wore, because it was a gift from New York from my friend. And, I think I wore it maybe once, but I probably only wore it under another shirt, like a black shirt, long sleeve shirt. All right. But then, yeah, like doing that, I was like, wow. Well, whenever I would talk to friends and stuff, they would kind of not listen, or they'd be talking, and I guess my voice wasn't
cutting through.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't confident enough to be part of the conversation, I guess. So I was like, how can I be part of the conversation? So I logically thought that by flipping it, and instead of wearing black, wearing all white, I'd be there and I'd be seen, and I'd have to be a part of the conversation. Yeah, so I did that. I don't remember. It was like about 4 years. I think it was 4 years. And it was fun. People always commented on how I stayed so white. Or I kept my clothes so white. I mean, I was born white. But yeah, they were like, "How do you keep your clothes so white?" And this was like, "My clothes are dirty as fuck. Like, if you kind of like pay attention, they were like where the fold of my jeans were. It all just sort of blended in, and then like right here, from hands and stuff, just like the natural oils.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it was fun. I feel like a lot of people thought that I was some sort of religious nut, which whenever I was on the subway in New York, nobody would sit next to me.
This is during the white era.
Yeah, and
it's KKK member, dude.
No, I remember my buddy John. He would say that in places, and I'd be like, "No, I'm not," and he would like yell it out, and I'd be like, "No, I'm not." But
New Clan is hoodless, dude.
But yeah, whenever I switched to red, I was living in New York, and people didn't mind the red that much. It wasn't like.
He's one of them.
Yeah,
he's one of them.
They always thought I was. But
you didn't have no problem with that. I love that the problem you had was at Swan Dive. You didn't have no problem with that in New York.
No,
it's fucking
I mean, yeah, I didn't have any problems with that in New York at all. Here, I've had more problems. People are like, "That's too much red." Or one time, a woman who, I mean, I guess she thought that I was trying to hit on her friends, which I wasn't. I was just there to hang out with my friend who was trying to hit on her friends. Which I didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time because I was just there visiting my friend who I hadn't seen in a while, who came up from San Antonio. And he was like, "Oh yeah, it's the cast of Beauty and the Beast. Like, we're going to hang out with them." So I went and hung out with him, and turns out, well, he had a girlfriend in San Antonio, and he was hanging out with like a cast member. And so I was there, and I had like bad anxiety. So I'm just, all these people that I like, maybe a quarter of them I just met, and the rest of them I had never known. They were all having these conversations, and I was just like standing sort of off to the side at this bar on 6th Street, being like trying to say something, but being like, "Nah, they're already like," the conversation was going so fast and they were all talking to each other. I didn't be like, "Oh, this," and then they'd be like, "What? Yeah, we're already on a different subject," sort of thing. But yeah, she came up to me and said that the color red to women is like the sound of a baby crying, and that women don't like it. And
they must hate Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and and she told me that I should stop wearing red. And then I was like, no. Like, I was like, "I'm sorry that you feel that way," which I always, whenever I offend somebody for wearing red, I always apologize and say, "I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I'm doing it for a specific reason that has nothing to do with that." But I mean, I feel like everybody's going to sort of be offended for no reason, I guess.
I feel like this wouldn't go too well in my neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like people within that community, they will know. I mean, they'll see me and they'll be like, "That guy's not affiliated at all. He's just some fucking nerd," you know? And they'll just be like, "Oh, he's probably doing it for something else." I hope. I mean, whenever I was in LA, nobody said anything, and I was all around LA.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I mean, people here love it, with the exception of a few people. Even I think some people that are affiliated might like it, but I don't know. I'm just like, whatever.
He's a walk-in billboard for us. He's a like, and then the other thing that I also already know, but I feel like it's not. Honestly, I forget about it. Usually, other people, when I introduce them to you, they remind me, and I'm like, oh yeah. But the eye thing.
Yeah, I was hit by a plastic toy gun when I was 7, and it was by my best friend at the time, and we were watching.
At the time, was that it? Was that the end right there?
Well, I mean, like we were watching Terminator 2.
That's a classic.
Yeah, and I jumped off the couch. He went back and hit me with the gun, and then went to the hospital. Had like so many surgeries. My grandmother wanted to save the eye, so I had so many surgeries. He visited me once and brought me a Slinky, and then I never saw him again. Which I suppose I could understand, like that. Like if I were to do that to somebody, I'd be like, "Oh fuck!" Like I fucked up, and I would feel pretty bad. But I mean, the way I see it, I just wanted a friend, you know, and it was kind of weird. But yeah, it's like fucking 25 years ago. So,
man,
right
at this point,
yeah,
it's gone. No more.
yeah, it's just.
You didn't use the powers of Facebook or any of these other things.
I don't even remember his name, so I don't remember. Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, there was some people I was cool with, man, when I was a kid, but like kid, like yeah, like those ages, and I feel like one came to mind, Neville, but I don't remember his name, and it's been so long. I don't know if there'd be any reason for anything.
yeah,
because we were just children, and families would move, and that's it.
And life can change so much.
Paul,
there was a friend that I grew up with, and I would hang out with him constantly, and like in elementary school, and then in high school, he like. I want to say he got kicked out of middle school for a little bit, and then I re-met him in high school, and he was just completely different from the kid that I knew in elementary school. And actually, a while back, I think he passed away, maybe like 10 years ago. I don't know why, but it seemed like, I don't know, he just didn't seem like like life had sort of beat him down into being like depressed or something. So
damn.
Yeah.
That shit can be hard, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and it depends on so many factors. I'm like super tired. I don't know how deep I should dive into some of these things. Sometimes I feel that shit too. Like everybody, I don't know if everybody does, but I feel like a lot of people feel that shit. I feel like me, with the mindset that I'm trying to create, and this is where you get into some crazy shit, but right, we all create our own reality, right? So things exist, things that are proven, right? But at the same time, things only exist to which we create, right? So I remember, like, for simple shit, I was talking to some artists, and he said, yeah, man, I'm making my album, right? But I'm going through writer's block. And at this point, I don't argue certain things with people. I'm like, man, you'll get through it, you know, the end, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't believe in writer's block, you know? Those things don't exist. I'm like, I make some shit. Yeah. I make shit all the time. Like, I don't understand what that is, writer's block. I mean, I do, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, for me, that shit doesn't exist.
Yeah. It's just like an abstract concept to you. It's just like something that it's like foreign.
Man, yeah, like I'm fucking making shit. The end. Is it the best shit? Yes. Whether that's true too or not, you know, like yeah. I don't care. You know, like, cause yes, you know. But it's same thing for like like I said, I'll feel it here and there too. So like I haven't won that battle yet the way I feel like I've won the writer's block battle. But I'll say the same shit, yo. Like obviously depression exists, right? You get famous person doing dumb stuff, you know, killing themselves every now and then. But for me, yo, I just tell myself that shit too. That shit don't exist either.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying for the world. I'm just saying for me, you know, like, and honestly, almost everything I could think of that like would trigger something, I'm like, all right, man, but that shit was my fault anyway. And for some reason, I haven't allowed myself to fix it yet, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I'm just like, no.
It's like mind over matter sort of
yeah,
thing.
so it's basic because you just keep telling yourself that shit, you know? I've not, you know, that shit can't work for people, for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
But someone who wants to do some shit, I'm like, well, that shit doesn't seem like it's helping me. So I got no interest in it.
Yeah.
So.
Damn.
But yeah, no, because I know every now and then you post some shit, some dumb shit.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Some like ultra negative shit.
Well, I try to post it in a sort of comedic light, because then that lessens the, I guess the negative impact of the depression.
I like to do that too, and at the same time, I'm like, yeah, man, like that's a comedic technique. But and it's like, well, shit. Does that mean I'm not allowed to use that in favor of creating this perfect or ultimate mind or whatever I'm trying to create? But at the same time, like it's still kind of like a form of negative self-talk, you know?
Kind of, but the thing is, as long as you don't take it seriously,
yeah,
I think that's all that matters. It's like, because I mean, you could hear negative things about you all day, every day, but it's until you start to accept that as fact, then that's when it sort of weighs on you and brings you down. But yeah, I mean, if I like joke about it, or joke about anything, it becomes this like small thing. What was it in Harry Potter? Which you never saw Harry Potter, right? There's like this scene where there's I can't remember it. It was like a chest, no, a mirror or something that showed your biggest fear. Oh fuck, it's been a while. I need to rewatch it. And
do you though?
yeah, because it's like it showed your greatest fear, and then the spell to disarm it was basically to make it a ridiculous thing. Like somebody was afraid of spiders, and then so then there was like this huge giant spider, and then they did the thing, and then the spider was on like roller skates and it couldn't stand up, and it was just like a goofy piece of shit, you know. So yeah, it's just like kind of using that mentality. It's like making fears and negative thoughts and like depression and just making it be the ridiculous thing that it is and the joke that it is, sort of makes it more manageable, makes it less than it is, you know, or it makes it actually what it is, which is just nothing. It's probably just your brain being dumb, you know. And I mean, a lot of people can't do that because it's very severe, and the brain can prevent you from like seeing the good in anything if it, you know. But
I mean, that's another thing, perspective creation. Because like I was checking myself with like this current job I'm working right now, where I was like, man, this is trash. This is trash. Like, but I was like, I was talking to my homie in NorCal, and he was like, Yeah, man. This, there's still some type of positives. Still some type of connections you can make with people and so on.
Yeah.
I did that kind of a bit today, but John Wooden once said, "Things work out best for those who make the best out of the way things work out."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's easier said than done. But yeah,
It's
them baked potatoes, dude.
hell yeah.
Are you ever gonna reach the golden color, or is that too expensive to replace your whole wardrobe?
Well, I don't think. Okay. Yeah. Well, because.
I don't recall if you even explained the whole color evolution. I think you just.
I didn't. Yeah. No. We'll see. In alchemy, there's the changing of base metals into like gold or like the higher metals, mainly gold. And that process is the black phase, the white phase, the red phase, and then gold.
But you didn't start all this. You didn't start black knowing any of this, right?
No, I mean, I didn't even realize it until I was into the red phase, or like wanting to change. And then I got this like alchemy book that explained it. And I was just like, holy shit. And then, like, my whole thing is I'm trying to make myself the best version of myself. And so in like doing this thing, I was sort of doing this sort of alchemical process. But the thing about that is I don't know if it's a like actual gold, like all gold thing. Or I mean, if I were, it's all like up in the air, that whole thing, because it's like, what if I never reach like the gold? Or what if death is the final like evolution, like being perfection and like gold? And or like, what if it's a inner sort of gold and I just wear normal clothes? But I would like to think that I continue with the red and just add gold accents to the red. I like the way that looks aesthetically.
I don't know if that's gold, but
yeah, it's kind of a gold, goldenish, rose gold, I guess. I don't know.
Copper maybe, or no? Copper or no?
It's copper, but it's like not normal copper. It's got like a reddish or like a tint to it that I can't. Yeah, I bought them online. And I don't know. I wish it was more copper or bronze. I like that bronzy color. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be like that. I mean, it started when the red phase started with 2 red bracelets whenever I was wearing all white. So I don't know if this is a start of a thing or not.
Did I cover the changing of the name?
No.
One was not created, Magnus. One was not.
Yeah, no, I made myself Magnus, because my former name, which I will not say, it didn't.
If you say it 3 times, does bad stuff happen?
I don't know. No, I haven't said it. No, it just didn't feel right because it was. I mean, I feel like it helped me get to a certain point, but if I was going to be the person that I wanted to be, I would have to have a greater name that would make me try to live up to it, you know? So, yeah, and there was already like 2 people in San Antonio, I think. One of them had my first and last name, and he was a painter. And then another one had my first and last name and my middle initial, and he was like a photographer. So at the time I was like pursuing those 2 things, So it's like, I got to change my name because I don't want to get confused with these already established people. So, and I knew that I always wanted to name my son Magnus.
Oh shit! So you want kids?
Yeah, yeah. Preferably twins, as weird as that is, because I feel like that's possibly the best way a child can grow up, with like a best friend, like all the way, you know? And yeah, like having somebody, like I want to have 2 kids, twins, Magnus and Maya. And Maya is spelled M-A-I-A. And they, both of those mean great. So I wanted my children to know that they were great, no matter what they did, you know, even if they ended up being addicted to drugs, and, you know, they were still my children and I still love them. Or like whatever happens, you know. But yeah, that's the dream. So then I was just like, I was going to change my last name originally. Just that, and keep my first name. But the whole process costs like $300 and some, and it's the same no matter, like, if you just change your last name or the whole thing. So I was like, why not just change my whole name, you know, because it's going to cost the same no matter what. So I figured out what basically who I wanted to be, kind of. And yeah, so my first name, Magnus, means great. My middle name, David, means beloved. And my last name...
Was that the same middle name you had?
No.
Oh, so you added...
yeah, it was, you know, like...
So wait, because that name sounds normal. Is it just because it means great?
What, Magnus? Well, Magnus, David, it means great, beloved. And then Valtias means like Lord or Regent.
But I mean, like, you know, one of them is not like the other, David.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seemed like it fit. And it fits within the context of the meanings. Because I guess ideally everybody wants to be loved, you know? And so I want to be somebody who is capable of being loved, I guess. I want to be great, and I want to be like the lord of my own life, sort of thing. Like yeah, instead of having to like, I guess not bend to others' wills, but like have my own will and be able to follow through with the things that I want to do, instead of letting life get in the way a lot of the times. But life does get in the way, you know. But yeah, that's sort of what I wanted. I mean, I feel like a lot of people like it, and whenever they see me, they're like, Magnus, that's a strong name. I'm like, yeah, it is. And I mean, I try to be as good a person as that name would be. Like, as great, like like Magnus, oh, he's a great guy, sort of thing, you know? Like,
do you think it's helping you do that, the name?
Yeah. I don't know if it's just the name. I mean, my grandmother raising me had a lot to do with it, because she was just like, be a good person. And I was like, okay. And most of my whole life is...
That was it? You don't need to be convinced?
Well, yeah, well, because like she has basically done everything that she can to make sure that I have a good life, I guess. And I don't want to disappoint her, you know? So I feel like being a bad person would be horrible, you know, and she would not like that. I mean, she's not that she's dead or anything and she can see me from heaven. She's still alive, but I don't want anything to, like, I just want to be a good person for her because she's a good person. So I just don't want to, yeah. Of course, she didn't like it when I changed my name, but I was like, hey, it's my name, so I'm going to do it. And she was like, all right. And then for the first couple years, she was like, Magnus, like saying it with a sassy tone.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah. But now she's come around to it. She figures that it wasn't just a spur of the moment thing. It was like I mean, it kind of was a spur of the moment thing, but not like a random purchase, like, oh, I need this for immediate satisfaction or temporary satisfaction. It was like, I need this to better myself as a human being over time, sort of thing.
How you end up getting into any of the arts?
I would always draw growing up in like elementary school. Not good. It was just like shitty stuff because I was really into comics. And I remember I would always draw Wolverine like very shittily. And then in middle school, I took violin orchestra, 6th grade. And I loved that. But I wanted to pursue art. So I got out of that class and started taking art classes. And then my violin exploded because it got warped.
It exploded?
Yeah.
Like?
Yeah, well, like I had it in the case. It was like a hard case in my house. And my house wasn't, I guess it wasn't, it still isn't, properly air conditioned. So the summer it gets really hot in the house.
But like, is it a Michael Bay explosion or?
No, well, it was like, I brought it out and it just went, just kind of like, because the strings, I guess, were so tight and the neck warped that it just like snapped, closed and just broke. Damn. I was like, I guess I'm not doing that anymore. And I mean, whenever I was taking violin, because I was doing violin at school, and then I had a teacher outside of school, I wanted to really learn piano. So I, like the one time I went to the violin teacher, I think I went to him twice. I tried to make a deal with him that if I do good at violin, he would teach me piano. And yeah, he didn't. But but yeah, so then high school.
That's a great teacher. That's a great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I only saw him like twice, 3 times. So he was like, yeah, well, we'll get around to it. And then we never get around to it. And then high school, I did art. And like freshman year, I wanted to, there was at my high school, there was there were like these magnet schools. There was like NISA, Northeast School of the Arts. And I wanted to be in it because I wanted to focus on art. And all of the people that were in that school were incredibly talented artists, even at like that age. And so I was in my art class early. I would always go in there at the beginning of the, like before school started, and just sit there and chill and work on art. And I was there, and the art director for NISA was there, or like the one, like the admissions or whatever. And because her and my art teacher were friends. And I expressed an interest in NISA, and the admissions person was like, "Yeah, just put together a portfolio, fill out this application, and give it to your art teacher, and then she'll give it to me." And my art teacher was like sitting right there, and she was like, "Yeah," and so, and like it was due like that day, I want to say, and so I put together all of my best artwork. Filled out the application, gave it to her, and then like waited. And like a week passed, and I was like, did anything ever happen? And my art teacher was like, "Oh, I thought I didn't give it to her. I thought you were supposed to." And I was like, "You were sitting right there. You heard her say that I give it to you and you give it to her. And then you even said," I mean, I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking because that's what happened. And so I didn't get in to NISA because of that. And then after that, I took drawing 2 and I want to say like drawing 3, but those 2 classes were just art copy and pasted, like the same art class. Like I wanted to focus on just drawing for illustration purposes because I wanted to get into comics or something. But we ended up doing, like in drawing 2 and 3, we ended up doing sculpture, like basically everything that involves art. And it seemed very lazy. And so I hated art for a while. And so I got out of art and did photography senior year. And also in that time, freshman year, yeah, I got a guitar, a ESP LTD M155, which had a Floyd Rose locking system, and it was a piece of shit because it like whenever, I mean, it sounded pretty good, but like whenever a string would break. Yeah. The way the locking system was, it was a bitch to have to restring. So I never really played it, and I wasn't good. So then I was going to start a band with Clifton, and I was going to play guitar, and he was going to play guitar, and our buddy Evan was going to sing, and then I think Clifton made the decision to kick out Evan because all the stuff that Clifton was writing, Evan didn't like, I think. And it was very difficult to write songs if nothing that you wrote was good, you know? So, so then I started singing, which me having stage fright was not good. Our first show was at this house party in a room maybe about half the size of this room. And it, I hadn't even memorized all of the lyrics. I don't even think I memorized any of the lyrics. I had the notebook on the floor, and so they were playing. I was screaming while looking down on at this notebook on the ground. And it was just super awkward. I didn't know what to do. And then I did that. I don't know how long we were a band. Over a year, I feel. I quit as vocalist because we met some friends, or a band that we would always play with. We sort of adopted 2 of their members, and we were going to be getting a little bit better and more complex music because it was just very straightforward metalcore stuff. And then, so I quit singing, started playing bass, which was a lot more fun than singing because it's a lot more carefree and it's just like the grooves, you know? And then we performed for a little while and then broke up because things just didn't add up. They didn't sync up. So then with another band that we met, we created a new band called pneumothorax because our singer had 2 pneumothoraxes, which is where his lung collapses because there's like a pinhole.
And you can still sing?
Yeah. Well, it's like a spontaneous pneumothorax. So, I mean, I don't remember why it happened the first time, but yeah, his lung just collapsed. So he had to go to the hospital, surgery, had to fix it. And then, whenever he was in his other band, he was singing a song, I think, about how much having a pneumothorax sucks. And then it happened again. But he hasn't had one since. And this was over 10 years ago. Yeah, but that was fun. I played guitar in that band, not well, but I got the job done. And that was like post high school ish, maybe like senior year. I was in that band. And then after high school, we went on tour, and that was fun as fuck. Yeah, and then
where at again?
What's up?
Where at on tour?
We did. We did like the normal Texas places, and then we went to New Mexico, Arizona. We were supposed to play. No, we were supposed to play in Arizona at this bar that was 21 and up, but none of us were 21 and up, and so they were like, you can stay outside and then go in and play whenever it's your time and then immediately leave. And so we all just decided, fuck that. We're going to go to Vegas. So we hung out in Vegas for a while. And then we went to, we played 3 shows in LA, like surrounding areas. And then we played in San Diego, and then we came back and then played, I want to say another Texas date. Yeah. Oh no, also Denver. We played Denver. Yeah. Played Denver, Colorado. Yeah. And that was fun. It was an intense time. And I think that was the first time that I'd ever been to LA and San Diego and Denver. And it was good. But then after that band broke up, and I decided I really wanted to pick up oil painting, which I hated painting in high school.
So you weren't doing visual art yet, really?
No, this is like after that band broke up. Because in high school, my art teacher made me hate art because it was just the same thing over again. And whenever I would try to do art, like try to draw, she'd be like, "You're drawing incorrectly," and I'd be like, "How am I drawing incorrectly? There's no right way to make art." But apparently everything that I did in art was incorrect. So, and because it was like the same thing over and over again, I didn't like doing the same. We were always given an artist to emulate, or we would use like their style and create an art piece using their style. And I would always use Andy Warhol because it was easy and because I just didn't really care about it. And so, because it was just like pop art, it was just a can of soup. And it was like something like, oh, you have this object, think of an object, and then make an art piece using this artist's style with that object. And it's like, that. I mean, I guess that's all right, but I would want to push myself, I guess, in a different sort of way. I feel like if she would have put on Bob Ross and been like, do this, I would have had a lot more fun because Bob Ross knew what he was talking about. And I feel like we would have gotten a lot further in life and in creative, like creatively.
Bob Ross is still on Twitch now.
Yeah, so.
Whether, you know, I think the estate owns the channel or something.
Damn. That's tight. Yeah, but, yeah, so then I did art. It was like maybe 2009. So 6 years after high school, 5 years. And I was just like, I really want to start oil painting. And I didn't really get into it seriously for a while. And I picked up drawing again. You know, I was like surprising myself with the drawings that I did. And then over time, my drawing was not as good as like whenever I started. I don't know what happened. I mean, I'm all right. But whenever I started drawing after not having drawn for a while, I was just like, damn, that's a good art piece. And now it's like, I make art. Some of them, they're good. Some of them are bad. But I mean, not now, but whenever I was like 2 months ago. Then I started making music again, 2010, 2011, I guess, because I got a computer that was actually decent. And so, yeah, I started making electronic music. Leroy helped me learn how to make music. Also, he helped me get better at art because he was going to college for art, like fine arts and stuff. And he learned a lot of the tricks of the trade that I didn't.
Learn firsthand.
I was just trying to do like trial and error stuff, which he says, looking back on it, he wishes he didn't go to college because he said it was just a lot of bullshit and he could have made the same progress or more progress out of it. But yeah, I mean, he's still an incredible artist and musician. And living with him was awesome because it was like, he was right across the living room from me. And so we would wake up and like one of us would be working on something and the other one, that would like make the other one want to work on something. And it was like a sort of like healthy competition, kind of like him being as great as he was would make me want to be like produce something that's also great. And me, I guess, producing sort of made him want to produce more stuff. I don't know. But yeah, that was fun.
I feel like that. I want that in my life. Like, and I feel like I've had a tough time getting those. Like, I don't have that like circle in essay. So like, and even the ones who dabble in the arts, they dabble it in a weird like light way where it's like, you know, I hate to say like I take it more seriously than them, but like I don't know, maybe I do. But you know, it's weird. Like they definitely put in enough time over the course of their life. Like, all right, these people probably gonna do it forever. But then I just feel like they don't at least give it a try. You know?
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah.
But. You've done impressive job carrying this podcast because I've been mad tired, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel bad. Yeah, maybe before I go, maybe we'll try another one. It'll be the awake session.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
But I'm gonna hit you with the life questions. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna be fucking awake when it's done. But here, I hit you with the old Abe stereotype. What is, and you've alluded to this already, but what is the goal in life?
My goal, or just the goal for everybody?
I don't even know what that means. Yeah, what is the goal for everybody? Let's do that one. I'm curious.
Survival. No, I mean, I feel like that. My goal is to be, like I said, the best version of myself. Which, I mean, everybody sort of has their own version of good and bad, of like right and wrong. But generally, there's a sort of common ground with like what is good and what is bad. And so like morally, I want to be a good person. I want to just be like the best version of myself. Productive, helpful, kind, just funny, you know?
How does that, so like, I guess like the natural one is like, how does one go about doing that? But would it be by doing all those things you said you want to do in the very beginning?
I don't know. It's, well, it's, a lot of it is just whenever life, well, I mean, being kind, it's like whenever life is fucked up, don't take that emotion and then project it on somebody else, which is it's a constant sort of thing. Because, whenever somebody is like mean to you, it sort of puts a damper on you, you know, it like does something. But yeah, like it's all about redirecting sort of that in a non hurtful way, you know? Hence why I tend to make a lot of jokes about everything. But yeah, it's just a bunch of, it's just a constant struggle, I suppose. I just got to keep on being mindful of it, and figure out what works, what doesn't work. What is it? It's like, well, in alchemy, there's like, whenever you have a thing, you basically reduce it to, it's like minimal state, like the essential state. Like with essential oils, you take the thing and you get rid of all the stuff that you don't need, in order to make it what it is, like a concentrated version of itself. So over time, you just figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And then you're like, okay, well, I guess I got to figure out a way to get rid of that which doesn't work for me and continue to do things that do work. And yeah, it's a lot of trial and error. But I mean, that's the only way that I've done things. The only way that I really know how.
And keep in mind, I've been sleeping through all your answers. So like, you might have sort of answered this, but like, I guess for like some part of my life, like the arts have probably been like the main thing. And I guess in my own way too, I'm kind of shifting the balance, like to like make the best version of myself, you know, or whatever. So focusing a little bit more on my health and whatever in my own way. But like, what was there ever a point, or like, or when you were going harder with the paints and harder with the music, was that like ever like the main thing that you wanted to do?
Wait, like music was or art? I don't know. No, I think.
Yeah, because I was getting that vibe too that it probably wasn't.
Yeah, with the music, it was something that I
know you through your touring. I know you through that phase.
Yeah,
I only know you through you doing it on your own. But yeah,
I enjoyed doing that. It was a lot of like being in a band. It was a lot of pressure because at the time I was obviously the weakest link of the band. But I mean, I had a lot of fun, and like being in a band with your best friends is.
Oh yeah.
It's it's fun,
camaraderie and shit.
Yeah, but yeah, and then doing like the solo electronic stuff, I enjoyed doing it, but it was more like I needed to do it to feel better because I don't know, I like whenever I would make a song, it would lessen my depression at the time, especially like the ambient stuff, because like making something that was so depressing and sort of getting my depression out that way, it sort of like made the levels of depression lower a little bit. And what's weird is whenever I started taking the Prozac, I just lost all creativity for making music. Yeah, and I mean, I've tried to make some songs at like, I'll post up and at like figure 8 and be like, oh, I'm not going to draw today. I'll just make some music. And then I start and it sounds like shit. And I'm just like, no, this sounds too not what I want. Too simple, but not simple. It's like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound like I have an idea in my head, kind of, or like a loose sort of what I want based on other songs that I've done. And that song is not like rubbing me the right way. It sounds too plain. I don't know. Too flat. Yeah, but I really wanted to make painting landscapes a thing because, and I mean, I do the portraits now, or I was doing the portraits of friends and like attractive women on Instagram because, I don't know, there's just something about beauty. I'm a Libra. And I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, horoscopes are shit. But looking at that, my horoscope, a lot of it does sync up. But
I feel like they always do because they're so general.
Yeah, but I mean, like I look at a different horoscope and I'm like, I don't resonate with that at all. And other people are like, oh yeah, that's me. And it is them. But yeah, like, I do those, portraits and I mean, whenever I do them, I don't expect to sell them because they are just a sort of way of me progressing my skill. And a lot of the times I'll message whoever I do make the art piece of and I'm like, hey, like I did this art piece of you. If you want it, you could have it. Like I'll ship it to you. Yeah. Some people, I mean, I've sent it to them and they've loved it. Sometimes I don't do a good job. I
made this art of you and it looks like trash. I made this art of you, it's like trash.
Yeah, and like I see it a certain way and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, this thing is badass. And then like a couple of weeks later, after I post or whatever, send them a picture, I'm just like, man, this looks like shit. Like I don't know what I was thinking 2 weeks ago. But so that stuff, I never really saw it as a way of making a living, just as a way of making myself better and progressing as an artist. Because I was in it while I was doing it, like I was pushing myself because I started just doing like gray tone like faces, and then I added background stuff, and then I added like gold paint, and then it was still like black and white back then, and then I added like floral patterns like in the background and added some color, and then I would do the background being just colorful as fuck, and then the person being grayscale. And And now I just I've gotten to do like Prismacolor, like color everything, like skin tone, background, floral patterns, and I've like done like butterflies and just anything to try and push myself, and like geodes, crystals, and so yeah, that's like what that does for me. It's just like pushing myself to be better. Some of the things that I've done, I mean, there's one piece that I just stopped because it was so confusing and so out of my depth. Like I had the idea, and the idea was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And then I stopped it because it was just too overwhelming. And I mean, I'm gonna go back to it once I'm at a level. Yeah, it's just one of those, like, constantly trying to push myself in that. But the landscapes, I loved doing those. I suppose I still do, because it's just relaxing, and people like them, which is always good, you know. Yeah, people like them enough to buy them. That's you know, like that validation in your creative works. It feels good, and yeah, it's very relaxing. And like, you paint a landscape, and the landscape doesn't go, oh, you made my tree look fat, or like you made these leaves too ugly or something, you know. It's all like, I mean, whereas whenever I draw people, most of the time, actually all the time, I guess they don't mind. I mean, they're like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. But I think it could just be them being nice, you know. It could be complete shit, and they think it makes them look ugly. Which, I mean, I could understand. Everybody sort of has their own view of themselves, I guess. But yeah, like landscapes, they don't complain about the way they look, and people generally seem to like them. So that's like a win-win.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And painting in oil is fun. Like the smell of it, which is probably very unhealthy. It feels more authentic, and it.
Do you wear a mask when you use those or no?
No, fuck it. And yeah, it's just like, and with that, I was trying to like push myself to paint like different scenes. Like I would, like I have like a few folders filled with pictures of landscape stuff, images that I found on like Tumblr or friends' Instagrams where they were in Hawaii or somewhere. And I'm like, that looks like it would be fun to paint, or like difficult to paint, but also fun. And some of them that I've done have been super easy and fun. And then other ones, it's like difficult trying to get as much detail in like a small canvas. So I like hold off on it and maybe go a different direction. But mainly what I'm trying to do or what I was trying to do at the time was get as much detail in a small amount of space as possible. So that eventually I could do a big painting and have like a ridiculous amount of detail in it. That's the dream. But that dream has been put on hold for a little bit, so I can get financially stable. Yeah, which.
Why is that a goal now versus before?
Because now I guess I need to be. You know, like my grandmother was helping me out with whatever I needed, but she's retired now, and she doesn't have that ability. So, and like, she was like, yeah, like, she would always be like, I want you to be successful at art. So just like focus on that and I'll take care of things and stuff. And so she was like letting me focus on my art and my music and stuff. And, but yeah, now I don't have that luxury of being able to just relax. So, and I kind of feel like it's like a thing that I want to tackle and conquer.
In the long run, it'll make you better. The long run, it'll make you better.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. Like, we work these jobs and we don't have time. And yet, when we have time, then like we get either nothing done or less done. And I noticed that in myself. That being said, I mean, you see, well, you probably at least seen like the Instagram posts, so you see like their cut-ups of something bigger, but like, I mean, like, I think once I noticed that, I was like, you know, the great poet and wrestler Owen Hart once said, enough, it's time for a change, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, now I think I definitely have rocket power spurts that you can't do. You just can't do when you do have a job. But I think I do have. This is a poor example as I'm just sleepy and tired. Like, but I think I'm not normally working I'm not normally working the normal 8-hour jobs anyway.
Yeah.
But I feel like I do have the mindset that like now that I could do it and have a normal job. But I think it came only from having been away from it so long and then having been able to activate it where I can go 14 hours and something dumber, you know, like that. But yeah, no, it's harder like that it just comes from a lot of like huge power of the mind stuff that even now I don't have like full control of it. Yeah, I'm trying to. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bacon.
Yeah, man.
I feel like there's a bunch of more life questions, but I think I'm also dying right now.
Yeah, no,
so
yeah. if you wanna do a part 2, we can.
Yeah, no. Yeah. There will be. It'll just be another episode. Yeah. It'll be weird if it just might just be back to back, but it's fucking ridiculous. Like I'm like, I think it's like 2 reasons, and I'm telling you now as I talk more, I've been practicing this technique where I let the other people talk more, but I think I'm normally not sleepy either. And thus I think by me not talking as much, I was just crashing. Yeah. But I think what's gonna happen now is now I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna fall asleep. But I'm gonna just be angry that I'm awake for 5 minutes. But then I think I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm confident I'm gonna fall asleep. Yeah. But no, because you are doing a good job of talking long, which is good, but it's not good for me wanting to go to sleep. Yeah, I feel it. And because I can't control it, I'm literally just going to sleep right now. Yeah. So yeah. How about for anybody who did make it this long? It's only because he's been so hard for me to get on that I was just trying to power through. And normally I can. I've done it a lot. Mm-hmm. I've done it like a lot of these shows have not been me at my best just because some of the people are rare, so I just do it. But I normally I'm not falling asleep on like 5 minutes into it though. Like I was like shit. I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. Man, it's tired right now.
Part 2 we'll do outside on the patio, and I'll get a candle. I'll get a citronella candle so we can.
Do you have one for the wasp? Because that kind of was like where I drew the line. I was like,
I'll get like a wasp spray.
I was like, what the fuck is this? He's just flying here like he owns the patio. Yeah, he's just chilling on cruise control.
He has a stinger, so he probably does on the patio.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to be on the patio. If he's chilling out there, I don't know if we need to be. The wasp was scary, dude. Yeah, I've not been, I don't know, shot?
Stung?
Yeah, that's probably a better word, but I've not been stung by a wasp. So
same.
I would like to keep it that way. So I don't know if we're gonna do any of them outside. It does look cool though.
Yeah.
But unless you like throw up some magic shade or something, like
I can get some like
I don't know if
wasp
the candle works, man.
repellent or
I don't know
killer.
if that works either, man. Like last time I checked, bullets kill people, and people still keep having wars running to them. You know, like so I don't know if that spray works if it hits, but I bet you when it doesn't, you know, like,
it just like makes them angry.
Yeah, like so I don't know. It's safe in here. But you see, man, now I'm like uppish, but I feel like it's also because I'm talking.
Yeah.
Because I might pass that. So yeah, we will do part 2 before I bounce.
All right.
Whether it's tomorrow or whether it's not, it'll be done at some point.
Cool.
But oh yeah, where if you want the people, where can the people find you if you want them to find you or something?
On Instagram, I suppose that's
your main one.
Yeah. That's the one that I.
Where can they find you online? I think that's the question. I think that's. So yeah, Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. Yeah, Magnus_the_red. Magnus the Red.
Do you want them to check out anything else? Do you want them to check out anything else?
I mean, you can check out my ambient music, solasortum.bandcamp.com. And that's SOLISORTUM .bandcamp.com. And I think I have like 4 albums on there, maybe more. Yeah.
And the thing is, SoundCloud still works. It has some stuff, right?
Yeah, but I haven't checked SoundCloud in a long time.
Yeah, but they can still hear some shit.
Yeah.
It has different stuff than not your ambient.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, all of my good things, some of the good things that I had, and on my electronic one, I mean, if they want to check out my regular electronic, I think it's just Magnus Valtias .bandcamp.com. And yeah, that's like all of my electronic stuff, aside from the ambient stuff. But SoundCloud kept on like saying copyright infringement on like a bunch of my songs. And I mean, some of them were remixes or whatever. But they would just like kept on removing them. I was like, Jesus Christ, you know, this is my own interpretation of a thing. But
usually you can get away with that on SoundCloud.
Yeah, but they were like, they did it a couple of times, and they were like, if we get one more, we're gonna suspend your account, or whatever. And I was just like, I guess I can't put anything on because I don't know if
what works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right. Last words.
I don't know. I don't got any. Technically, this won't be the last words.
I know, but for this one, it is. Next one's just gonna be the next one. It'll be 2 different episodes.
All right.
This will be the sleep episode.
The nighttime episode.
Yeah, man.
Last words. Yeah, I got nothing. I'm a man of few words. So, aside from this podcast.
I asked Magnus for the last words. I asked him the question I thought he heard, but he gives me nothing. Just flips me the bird. Man, that's dirty. Why you gotta hurt me? All I asked you was one question. Telling me Las Vegas stories about him and the boy betting on blackjack. But turns out he's really whack because all the money came from the homie he met there.
And winning.
I asked him if he cares to please share some last words, but he still won't.
Okay, fine. Failure is a part of life, a main part of life. And once you acknowledge that fact, you might succeed.
There you go.
But don't be too set on succeeding because you'll probably keep on failing again.
I'm so tired. I only heard half of that, but it sounded good because you said failure and success and stuff. So
yeah.
All right, man. That's it. Bake that chicken, smoke that turkey. Boosh. We out. Yeah.
Hey, Lord. on the beat, Tommy Wong on the track, Matt Lee on the brass. Look, I've been broke, I've been rich, Then had a hoe, then had a bitch. Yeah, they still wanna talk about how they just flipped it. They still wanna talk about how they got biscuits. They still wanna talk about how they make the digits. But to me, I'm a giant looking at a bunch of midgets. Yeah, beat me up, Scotty. Mr. Tommy Wong looking for a new hottie. Wanna ride shot it while she gone off the molly. And best believe she just trying to kick it like a holly. Tommy Wong, I'm Kennedy, killing them every minute. They still wanna talk and finish it. I don't care what they heard, cause you know their soul is diminishing. When I come around, I start spitting and straight replenishing. Anything I'm doing, you know they feeling the differences. What I be doing, killing this microphone every instance. T.O. double, man, they run in trouble. I told you before, I'll bring the bass, I'ma bring the trouble.
Now what y'all motherfuckers know about doing this shit? What y'all motherfuckers know about late nights and fucking getting high as a motherfucker doing music and shit? Missing shit. Fuck you.
If you gonna pop the high, you got the blunt. If you gonna pop the fly, you got to stunt. If you're gonna ask me why, you know what's up. If you're trying to pacify, you're nothing, Everybody feel chumped up, and everybody say they get crunked up. Now motherfuckers talk about the decibels, but I don't hear them when they get loud, bro. Now let me go. All for the top, I roll. It's Mr. Wong. I represented 254 to 210 to the world below. They just know that's how I get down, how I must go. Off the top of topic, wanna hate the fact that I ain't from the projects or maybe your project, but you still just trying to get on my project, and I be looking like stop it, Gon' beat me up, Scotty. Mr. Tommy Wong looking for a new hottie. Right shot it when she gone off the molly. Wanna kick it like a holly. Do the dirty deeds, yeah, that's a problem.